Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Vectra podcast. I'm Zoe, and today I'm joined by a new face, Josh from the partner management team. Josh, you want to say hello to everyone?
Hi everyone. Hi. Great to be here. Thank you, Zoe, for putting this together. Looking
Yeah,
forward to the session today.
of course. And also, we both were at Fal.Con last week in Vegas. It was at the Aria, and Vectra is there every year. But we were here this year, and we actually were able to get a lot of good conversation, lots of good themes and thoughts. So we decided to just sit down and kind of talk about it. So, but first, actually, let's talk a little bit more about you, Josh. And I have a backdrop with some pictures I took. It's very red, but
I love it.
before we
Looks great.
yeah, before we start, let's talk a little bit more about you, Josh. Do you want to just introduce yourself? Tell me how long you've been at Vectra, how long you've known, have been in the security industry, where you're from, what your role is, any other tidbits you want to share?
Yeah, with pleasure. Yeah, so hi world, Josh Tomlinson. I'm based in Southern California, but my Vectra role is really focused on partnerships across the West Coast. And so that's a myriad of our traditional value-added resale partners, our managed service partners, integration partners, as well as our fantastic alliance partners, which obviously includes our awesome partnership with CrowdStrike.
Hmm.
Uh, Been with Vectra 2.5 years. As you can probably tell from the way that I speak, I'm not native to the US, but I've been here.
Yeah, that's
I've
not
been
an
here eight
American
years.
accent.
Yeah, yeah. What gave me away, huh? So yeah, came over to the US in 2016 and have been in the tech security space since well, just before I moved over, so since 2015.
Mhm. So you're pretty
Nearly 10
seasoned.
years.
Mm.
Yeah, as the gray hairs in my beard will attest, yeah, I'm becoming a seasoned cyber guy.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, thank you for introducing yourself. So I have this pulled up. You can see a lot of words here. You see next gen SIM, you see data layer, you see single agent. There's a lot of themes going on at Falcon, but I wanted to hear what was a common theme that you encountered at the conference?
Yeah. So I mean, there were multiple. From the customers that I spoke to, it's still clear that CrowdStrike has an awesome customer following, and
Hmm.
there are customers that not only get a lot of value from the product, but they genuinely love the brand. They love the action figures, the story behind it. There's still that.
Hmm.
It's almost something you can't quite put your finger on, but kind of a dedication to the brand
Yeah.
that's really cool to
Hmm.
see. Um, I'd say theme-wise, most customers were excited and looking to expand their CrowdStrike suite and also their partnership suite, outside of traditional EDR. And
Hmm.
so, obviously, from the CrowdStrike side, a lot of customers were interested in the next gen SIM. And
Hmm.
then the questions that we had from customers as a big CrowdStrike partner was what does that integration look like? What is the value for me as a customer that comes from that integration? And then
Yeah.
what's the workflow of that integration and how difficult is it to integrate? And the answer is it's very easy. Um, but the number one question was how does the partnership work and what does the integration look like?
Yeah, that's something that I also encountered too. Both of our sessions, speaking sessions, we had one on Monday and then one on Tuesday with Tim Wade, our deputy CTO, was about our integration, was about NG SIM. And I also got that from a lot of conversations I had with folks like, mingling around our booth and at sessions as well. So can definitely resonate with that. And you also mentioned like the figures, like the action figures, like the we have Scattered Spider on the screen. Like, actually, we have Scattered Spider twice. We have one where it's like the action figure with them on the computer screens, and then one on a drone show, which was
So
that was
cool.
really cool. Yeah. But I was gonna ask you just for like a little funsies thing, like which adversary stood out to you the most? Which one did you like the most?
It's there was one in particular that sparked a great conversation with customers and Vectra team members at the booth, and that was famous Kalina. Not only an awesome looking character, but also
Mm.
the pronunciation of it, right? There seems to be a divided approach on how that's pronounced. I personally say Kalima. Some people were saying Chulina. So I think the jury's still out, at least on our side.
I think I was
What do you
actually
think?
Googling this like on the side because I was like, I have no idea what kind of like figure this is. Apparently, it's a like a legend in Korea, North Korea, and South Korea of a winged horse, and the word itself is a Korean word. So if
Okay.
if we want like an accurate like
Yeah.
pronunciation, we gotta ask someone who speaks Korean.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I have a
Yeah,
few Korean friends. I'll text them.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want
Let
to
me
find an
know.
answer once and for all. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, that was a pretty awesome one too. I really liked digging into the background because I was also asking like, how do you pronounce this? What even is this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my favorite, I would say, is aquatic panda because I went to a session to learn about aquatic panda and um I learned a lot of details about it, but the question was that the speaker had a little prize for anyone who could answer why they're named aquatic panda. And then I was just like, oh, I need to get this prize. I'm gonna do my research in the background, take hella notes and whatnot. It turns out it's just because they use Fishmaster. It's very like,
Yeah, of
yeah,
course, the aquatic theme. Yeah, yeah. I assume it
yeah,
must be something fishing related. Yeah,
yeah. So it's
that's
just
genius.
Fishmaster. Yeah. And then pandas because they're, China centric. Or their nexus is in China. So yeah, that's mine.
I
The
love it.
design is
That's
also really
genius.
cool too.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. My next question for you, Josh, is were there any other parts of the conference that you were really excited about or that it was a favorite for you? It could be something as simple as food or the security dog that had goggles on. I don't know if you saw him. He's on the screen right now.
No,
Yeah.
that's real. That's real security right there. Not
Yep.
cyber, but no. Honestly, nothing specific. The whole conference itself is just such a well put together event.
Mm-hmm.
What what I would say is my favorite thing is the conversations at the booth. Probably 90% of them were really productive conversations. I
Mm-hmm.
think, how often at a trade show can you honestly say that?
Yep.
Um, so for me on the partnership side, that was fantastic, right? To engage with our resale partners, our alliance partners, and have really productive networking conversations, both at the
Mm-hmm.
booth and at the events.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on the probably cooler, slightly more fun side, the drone show
Hmm.
is awesome. I mean, you have a picture of it there. It's one of the coolest things.
I know.
It's I am not a fan of fireworks as well, so I really feel like this is the future of firework displays. So, so it's really, really cool to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, once the drones started coming into the show, everyone was pulling out their cameras and saying like, "Whoa, wow!" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is awesome. This is definitely the future of any like live shows."
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's great. It's so cool to see. And I think there's so much more capability with it. Obviously you can
Hmm.
pre-plan and it's all computer coordinated. So it's yeah, really cool to see.
Absolutely. Okay, my last question for you is, so there's a lot of stuff that you talked about with both customers, prospects, and partners at Fal.Con, and I was wondering how you think Vectra fits into what you learned at the conference, or how do you think Vectra fits with CrowdStrike in general?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And I'll try to give a concise answer, but it's going to be difficult because there's so much to it. So
Hmm.
um, for me, it sits under the header of, for a long time, a lot of organizations have purchased various different security tools.
Hmm.
Uh, there, in a lot of cases, doesn't seem to be a lot of coordination between those tools. And so you
Mm.
have a lot of alerts across a lot of disparate systems. And so it's really about answering the question of, okay, so you finally get to a real alert that you know is something serious. What's next, right?
Hmm.
What does that workflow look like? And then what's the effort level and tracking process of that workflow
Right.
for a customer,
Yeah.
right? It's all well and good giving a customer news that they're being attacked and that it's legitimate, and but they have to be able to obviously document that, take action on it, and resolve the issue as opposed to just
Hmm.
knowing about it. So a lot of the conversations that I had at the booth were around our integration with CrowdStrike from a response perspective. So while it's all well and good and it is fantastic about the level of accuracy that we can give our customers about serious incidents across their physical network in their identity layer or their cloud environment, it's the action part that becomes really valuable for them
Right.
with regards to the CrowdStrike integration. So sending a host to CrowdStrike to have them shut down, and that can happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know
Yep.
that that was you could see people's eyes light up and the wheels started to turn about just how valuable that would be for them. And then you
Mhm.
combine that with covering a blind spot across their physical network or across their cloud or identity, which obviously where Vectra steps in, it becomes a really valuable conversation for a customer. And it's not one of buy another point tool and get more alerts in one more interface that you have to
Yep,
manage. It's more of a holistic approach. So
absolutely.
that was really resonating and a really common theme that was really ended up dominating probably almost all of my conversations at the booth.
Yeah. And that just reinforces like our whole Better Together story with CrowdStrike too. And you can see this on our website. It's that there is our partnership with CrowdStrike is supposed to bridge those technology silos, is to bring a better integrated signal, a better picture for, security analysts or any security folks at all as well. So like definitely agree with you on that. And I'm really glad to hear that the folks that visited our booth felt the same way. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
All
yeah, that's
righty.
great.
All right. Any last thoughts about Fal.Con?
I'm looking forward to next year. Seeing
Oh,
seeing
oh
what else
yeah.
they can put together. Obviously, we had Tiesto as a fun surprise,
Oh
so
yeah.
I think we'll do a little betting pool internally at Vectra as to who they can get next year. But yeah, looking forward to it. And great venue too. Love the
Yep.
aria.
Yeah, that was beautiful. It was a great conference. All righty. So that's it for our podcast today, our recap on Falcon. We're both Josh and I are very excited to join next year's and to also talk about it afterwards next year too. For more podcasts, please visit our YouTube or our Spotify. We talk about a bunch of great, awesome things, and we have great, awesome people like Josh join us as well. So check us out. And Josh, thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Bye, everyone.